There on the field, the pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beaches is singing "Fight, Vols, Fight." The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Been talking about a lot of recruiting lately in the class of 2023. I thought we would jump back over to the transfer portal at a position of need. We all know Tennessee needs to add several key pieces really to this football team as we start to move into the 2023 season. Not to get ahead of ourselves, we've got a big-time game coming up, Tennessee-Clemson in the Orange Bowl at the end of the month, but it's also transfer portal season. Arkansas Razorbacks tight end Trey Knox has entered the transfer portal. He's a guy that Tennessee was heavily involved with at one point. You go back to his recruitment. Coming out of high school in the class of 2019, he was actually a wide receiver. He's out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He's an in-state kid. He was the 7th ranked player in the state of Tennessee, according to 247 Sports. And again, he's a guy that Tennessee was heavily involved with. If you go back and you look at the timeline on 247 Sports, you can go all the way back to June of 2016. Tennessee offered a scholarship to Trey Knox, and then you kind of go through the timeline. He's a guy that's been on campus a lot. April of 2017, he took an unofficial visit to Knoxville. You can keep kind of going through that timeline. He was back on campus for an unofficial in June of 2017. You move forward, he was back on campus again November of 2017, an unofficial visit. March of 2018, May of 2018, unofficial visits. He was here officially in September of 2018. Then he eventually committed in October to the Razorbacks. He's been there ever since. He's had a 4-year career at Arkansas. So he's one of these guys that he's going to go into the portal. He's got that super senior season left. It's one and done. It's a business trip. Will Tennessee kick the tires here? Will they show a little bit of interest? Again, a position of need. You can go back. They've already added one transfer from UC Davis in this transfer portal season, but I think they still need to add another scholarship player. The only one left on the roster, Jacob Warren. He went through senior day activities. I've not seen anything official at this point. Starting to think that Jacob Warren comes back for one last ride. Regardless, Tennessee needs a tight end. Could Trey Knox be that guy? We'll take a look at it. As always, do me a favor. You guys know what to do. You already know what to do. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, easy. Plays the game of YouTube, plays the analytics. If you like what we do, if you're here every single day and you click on the videos and you watch them, hit the thumbs up. That's quick, free, easy. If you're new to the Talkin Vols Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you. We talk with you. We're not here to try to pretend to be something special. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We'll be live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's a fan call-in show. That's when you, the listener, gets an opportunity to come onto the channel. We can talk recruiting. We can talk portal. We can talk Orange Bowl. Whatever you guys want, it is your show. You get an opportunity to come on and do that, so don't miss it. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article. This is from 247 Sports. Trey Knox enters the transfer portal. And Trey Knox has an interesting story because, again, coming out as a high school kid, he was a wide receiver. He was around 215 pounds. Since then, he's bulked up, put on a lot of weight. He's a lot bigger, got a lot bigger frame, 6'5", 245 pounds. The key for me, man, the key is he's a Tennessee kid. He's a Murfreesboro kid. Does he want to come back home to Tennessee? Let's take a look at the article. Arkansas tight end Trey Knox has left the team and entered the transfer portal. Knox was a 4-star recruit in the class of 2019, checking in as the number 228 overall prospect in the country, according to 247 Sports. Midway through the 2021 season, he made the switch to tight end. I think that was a smart move for him. It says this season, Knox, 6'5", 245 pounds, hauled in 26 passes for 296 yards with 5 touchdowns. For his career, he had 81 catches, 892 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He is originally from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and attended Blackman High School. So again, Does he want to come back home? Does he want to come back to Knoxville? It's a one and done. It's a business trip. Does he feel like there is an opportunity to come to Knoxville in a tight end room that's pretty dang empty? It's pretty empty at this point. But something else you got to look at, Tennessee doesn't have a tight end coach. Alex Golesh off to South Florida. Alex Golesh is out there recruiting guys like Carnell Tate. How about that picture floating around on social media? Does that impact Trey Knox? The fact that Tennessee does not even have a coach in place, and I don't think they're in a real big hurry to add somebody at the tight end coach yet. You know, I think Josh Heupel's probably going to call the plays for the Orange Bowl. I fully expect Joey Housley to be promoted to offensive coordinator, and then Josh Heupel's going to go and try to find somebody to fill that void as a tight end coach. The article goes on to say Knox was a longtime Arkansas target who was recruited to Fayetteville by former wide receivers coach Justin Stepp and offensive coordinator Joe Craddock under the previous coaching staff. The heavily recruited receiver made an unofficial trip to the Hill on February the 25th and returned for an official on June the 8th. He also took unofficial visit at Florida and Tennessee during his recruitment. Again, I ran down that timeline. He was on Knoxville. He was in Knoxville a lot. He was on Rocky Top a lot. Ton of unofficial visits in and around campus. Heavily recruited kid. Ultimately, he ends up at Arkansas. But again, 1 year to play. Does he come back to Knoxville for one and done, for that business trip? Goes on to say after a freshman season where he started much stronger than he finished, still had 28 catches for 385 yards and 3 touchdowns, caught just 7 passes for 70 yards without a touchdown as a sophomore. And again, it's kind of this story, man. It's kind of this story of Trey Knox trying to find himself, and he's not really getting in the rotation as a wide receiver, ends up bulking up, adding that weight. And that's what it goes on to talk about here. It says in the spring of 2021, he checked in at 6'5", 205. 4 months later, about a year ago, he was as big as he'd ever been at the time, 215-pound wide receiver. After 5 weeks, he still hadn't caught a pass. So what does he do? Continues to bulk up. It says then he moved to tight end in sort of a hybrid role, caught 5 passes for 37 yards, scored his first touchdown since his freshman year, slowly gaining weight throughout the season, getting up to 227 pounds. By the end of last year, Knox finished the year with 20 catches for 141 yards. The following is from his University of Arkansas bio. We can kind of talk about the bio. We don't have to read through it there. Again, 2019 as a freshman, started 11 games playing as a wide receiver for Arkansas in 2019. Saw most of his snaps out wide with 21 coming in the slot. As a sophomore, COVID year, he played in all 10 games but made 6 starts, recording 7 catches for 70 yards. 2021, this is when he kind of started to make that transition to the tight end position. He played in 12 games, only had 20 catches, 141 yards, and a touchdown. And then you kind of move into his senior year, 2022. He had 26 catches, 296 yards, and 5 touchdowns as an actual tight end for the Razorbacks. But again, Tennessee, they've got to add bodies in the tight end room. They've already added one, the transfer. We've already talked about that. But I think they need to add another one. Do you guys think Jacob Warren comes back? That's part of this conversation, too. If Jacob Warren's not coming back, this is desperation. You got to go find a tight end if Jacob Warren's not going to be in that room next year. And I know there are a ton of needs. I know you guys are concerned about defense. We keep talking about the need at defensive back. Tennessee's doing a good job recruiting in the class of 23. Lot of good defensive prospects when you kind of look through that body of work from the class of 23. And we still got, we're over a week away from the early signing period. Probably going to be the weakest, most boring early signing day in the history of college football. It is what it is. That's the new college football. But they've done a good job adding some talent on defense. There is a concern for the here and now, for next year, for 2023. They need help on defense. I get it. They also need help at tight end. They want to add a receiver. We know that. But they probably wouldn't hurt to add somebody on the offensive line. This team has a ton of needs, but they got a ton of time. And I think this coaching staff is being patient. They're trying to vet everybody that's in the portal. And it's been a little bit slower. I've said this in previous videos. Been a little bit slower than I expected. They're kind of going through the process, taking visits, Zoom calls, vetting guys. We'll see how this thing ends up. What do you guys think of Trey Knox? Hit the comment section. Will Tennessee kick the tires here for Trey Knox, a guy that they were heavily interested in, but a lot of that was before this coaching staff. You have to remember that. All that interest was before the coaching staff. But you guys hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. As always, make sure you smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' Vols Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' Vols. Any all support, greatly appreciated. Thank you, as always, to all the members of the channel. You guys keep the lights on around here. 19,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 20,000 by the end of the month. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. If you know somebody that loves Tennessee football, let them know about the Talkin' Vols Network. Send it out to them, tweet it out to them, share it out, text them, let them know about the Talkin' Vols Network. We appreciate it. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.